Hello everyone, this is Ravinder Dundra and welcome to my channel. Today we will start a new topic from Economics class 10 Cbse, the first chapter of Economics, that is development. In this lecture we are going to discuss about what is development, characteristics of development. We will also discuss about national development as well as comparing countries and states. So let us start. First we will discuss about this development. What is development? Simply in a common man's language, if we can define, development means development is simply improving in living standard of the people. For example, a person is living, and if there is an improvement in his condition of in his living condition, then we call it as this development. And this development has certain characteristics. There are mainly three characteristics for this development. So what are these three characteristics? Are that the first one is that different persons can have different developmental goals. That means if you can see, you all know different types of people are living in this world, and what is development for one person may not be the development for other person. For example, if you take three or four different types of persons, for example you take a farmer, for example you take a lawyer, or for example you take a driver, or you can also take a girl, school girl, or you can also take a school boy. Like this, if you take different types of persons in this world, they have different goals. For example, a farmer, if you take, he always used to think about his land, his production capacity, etc., etc. Then a lawyer, he always thinks about he should get more and more number of cases in the court. Then a driver, he also always tries to think about this a good condition of his vehicle, and at the same time a good income, like this. And at the same time a school girl or boy, they also have different types of goals. So therefore the first characteristic of the development, what it says is that different persons can have different developmental goals. Then the second characteristic is that what may be development for one person may not be development for the other, and it may even lead to be destructive. Again, if you take that, as I told, what is development for one person may not be the development for other person. Why? Because if you see here, a lawyer always thinks that he should get more and more number of people to him to attend in the court and to discuss on certain issue or case. Then a farmer always thinks about a good rainfall, a good harvest, like this, etc., etc. Therefore different persons can have different goals, and what is development for one person may not be the development for this another person. And the last line, what it says is that it may be even destructive. For this I'll tell another example. For example, if you take, there is a village, and there is a village as well as people have decided, government has decided to construct a dam near to this village. It is, just imagine that it is very big dam. Then what happens is that this village, if government constructs this dam, what happens is that this village may submerge in the water. Then for villages it is a destructive. Why? Because it is not, their village is being destroyed in this water. But for government, if they construct this dam, it is something like a development for them, and they can give water for different type of people. So that is why it may be sometimes even destructive. Then the last characteristic of development is that for development people look at mix of goals. That means development means they don't even always bother about only one particular thing, they always bother about different types of things. Most of the people, what they bother is, they bother about a good income. Then apart from this income, sometimes they also bother about other goals, other things, such as apart from income they also think about this respect, security, equality, or it can be any other thing. So depending, not only this income matters, but apart from income, people, they always look for mix of goals. That means they always look for respect, job security, equality, etc., etc. At the same time safe environment, pollution free environment. So like this, always people people look at mix of goals, not only one goal, but they always look at mix of goals. So again, if you can see that there are three characteristics of this development. They are different persons can have different developmental goals. As I told, a farmer, a lawyer, a driver, or whoever it may be. Then what may be development for one person may not be development for others. That is, as I told, what is development for a farmer may not be a development for a lawyer. Then sometimes I also told it may also lead to destructive. For that I have told this example, dam as well as village. Then for development, people look at mix of goals. Again, as I told that apart from income, most of the people, they always think for income, or they always feel that if they get more income, they think that we are developing. But they also look for some other goals such as respect, security as well as equality. So we can say that people can also look at mix of goals. So these are the three characteristics of this development. Now let us talk about this national development. National development means what? National development means improving in living standard of the entire nation's citizens. It can be in different ways. For example, it can be increase in GDP. GDP means what and how it can be increased, that we will discuss in the second chapter of this economics. Then there may be poverty reduction, there should be increase in literacy rate, and there should be decrease in crime rate, etc., etc. National development means it also includes different things, but as a whole there should be an improvement in the living standard of this entire citizens. And here also some people think that, for example, what one person thinks is that if there is a reduction in poverty, he thinks that will lead to national development. And some people think that if there is a decrease in crime rate, they feel that the nation is developing. And some people feel that if there is a literacy rate is increasing, they feel that the nation is developing. So here also national development means here also people will have different opinions about nation's development, and sometimes there may be conflicting ideas about this national development. So overall, national development means thinking about all these ideas, thinking about all these opinions together, and to improve the standard of living standard of the citizens, we may consider it as this national development. And this after this national development, what we have to see is about this, how do we compare these countries? How can we say that there are some rich countries, there are some poor countries, and there are some middle income countries, or you can say developing countries? Well, how we can say, and what is the criteria we can use to say that which is developed, which is underdeveloped? So for that, to compare the countries, once upon a time we used to use this something known as this total income of the country. Total income of a country, that means total income of a country means the total income generated by all the citizens of a country, we call it as this total income. So once upon a time we used to say that if any country is having more and more income, if their income is more or high, we used to say that the so and so country is well developed. But this criteria is not a proper criteria to compare the countries. Why? Because if, for example, there are two countries are there, country A as well as B. Here, if country A's income is something like 10 lakh crores or something, just imagine 10 lakh crores like this, and this country B's income is something like 5 lakh crores. And here, by just simply seeing the total income, what people feel is that this country A is developed and this country B is less developed. But this may not give correct information. Why? Because here in this country, one person may be holding this 10 lakh crore, or only few persons may be holding this 10 lakh crores. And here, when it comes to this country B, here also the same thing, 5 lakh crores. But here, at an average, all the people may have more and more income. But when we compare with other country, their total income is very less. Therefore, the best criteria which we need to use to compare these countries is that we have to follow this something known as this, instead of total income, we have to use this average income, or the other name of this average income is that we also call it as this per capita income. So this per capita income concept is very important. How can we calculate this per capita income is that we can calculate this per capita income by using this formula. The formula is, we can use a formula to calculate this per capita income. The formula is that per capita income is equal to total income of the country, divided by total population. So if we divide total income of the country by total population, we will get per capita income. And according to the World Bank, if a country is having more than 12,556 US dollars of per capita income, then we call those countries as rich countries. And this data, 12,056 rupees, all this data according to the textbook it is given according to this 2017 data. If a country is having a per capita income of 12,056 rupees, or sorry, $56 US dollars, we call that country as a rich country. And if the US income is US dollars are equal to $955 or below this $955, we call those countries as this middle income countries. Sorry, not middle income, low income countries. And remaining all those countries which are there, whose income is in between this $12,056 to below above this $12,056, and if it is above, even below, above this $955, we call the, if it is between these two, we call them as this middle income countries, and if it is above this, we call them as this rich countries. And our country India, it comes in this middle income groups. Why? Because our country's income is something like US dollars of something like 1826 US dollars according to this 2017 data. So based on this, instead of going for total income, we compare this per capita income to compare the countries. This gives somewhat more and more accurate data than comparing this total income. Thank you.